so you guys can understand, I want to do a show to get y'all to understand what goes on with a football team when the season is over. Um, they've some most teams have already did their exits, where they have the exit interviews with the players and kind of tell the players where they're at, and if you're coming back, if you're not coming back, because most players know already if they're coming back to their team or they're going to be a free agent. They already understand that this is the way the business works. It's not a personal thing. Um, it's just some players don't fit another team scheme, or they have so much money that they're gonna ask for that the team can't afford them anymore. And sometimes it's just the team could afford them and they just don't want them. They want someone else. Uh, every team should know what direction they're going right now. We're gonna talk about all off season what teams need. Um, but what you're not going to see a lot of is people talking about team what they need. What's up, Joe's? Not what they need. Can they afford to get them? Can they afford to get things that they need for their team? A lot of teams are going to be releasing players that you're like, what? I mean, because they can't afford them anymore. Um, but these are things that I want to get out and get you guys to understand that if your team is not busy right now, because here's the thing, for most of us, we get our information from sports shows. Sports shows talk about what a team is doing and this and that. I'm going to ask my audience to do something a little different. How about you do your own research about what's going on? I spent a little time yesterday reading over some different teams and the front office and how they're moving, and I realized something, and I hate to say this, it's not very many teams. There's 32 teams in the NFL. There's not very many teams that are actually moving toward winning. Some teams are in total disarray, and you can see it right now that they're in total disarray. They have no idea what direction they want to go, or how to even go that direction if they knew. They have no idea, and we give them so much credit because they get paid so much money. But the truth of the matter is, some of these GMs and some of these front offices are not getting together to figure out how we're going to win a Super Bowl. They're getting together figuring out how we're going to sell tickets. I mean, it's funny. One of the funniest scenes ever is if you ever seen a movie called Major League, one of the funniest scenes ever is when the new owner comes in and she's a ex stripper or whatever, and she takes over the team and she gives them a list of all the players that she want to get, and they're looking at the list and they're like, most of these guys are old or this and that. One guy's dead. I mean, like I just now in her case, she just wanted to lose. But it's funny, but some of these NFL teams are like that. They're not trying to win. They're just trying to make sure that they pack the stands. I mean, some GMs are looking at the schedule and saying, wow, we got Kansas City coming in this year. We got Seattle coming in this year. We got New England coming in this year. Ooh, those are games that we can sell out. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? But when the season starts, now here's why it's unfair. Here's why Jerry Jones is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Here's what's funny. The fan base is going to get on social media or go get in a barbershop or get with their friends and start talking about how their team is going to do next year, what their team need. Oh, we going to the Super Bowl. We this and that. And the truth of the matter is that's not how your front office is thinking. When I speak about football, I speak about things that I see and things that I know. And one of the things that I know is what I'm saying to you right now. There's only about maybe 8 teams who are getting together and putting things together to win a Super Bowl. The rest of those teams, they're just trying to sell tickets. If you want to know, a good sign of that is when you see a team that has a player, let's just say a quarterback, and we see on the field that this quarterback is not that good or he's not performing that well, and yet the team keep that quarterback at quarterback. And then they convince you that hey, this is the quarterback for us, or this is the person for us. Look at their stats. Have you ever seen how a football player can pad stats? In some games, they're like 30, they're like 25, 26 points behind. They can't win. They throw all these passes and they complete all these passes, and we keep up with all that. We look at the completion percentage, we look at the QBR, we look at all this thing, and then you see that big ass L right by their name because the game was never even close. But yet they picked up all these stats and they use those stats to sell it to you to say that this quarterback is the real deal. When you know, looking at what you see from your eyes, this quarterback is horrible. But they sell that to you. I mean, it's so if your team was a playoff team last year, if your team have been in the playoffs most of the time, you can bet that those teams are actually sitting down trying to figure out what it's going to take for them to get back, or what it's going to take for them to literally move forward or get further in the playoffs. That's what a front office do it. What's up, Brianna? That's what. Well, I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you back. That's what. When I'm talking during the season, and I hear people like, let's just say Cleveland. I see Cleveland fans come on the show, and they say this and they say that. And I'm saying to myself, your front office has proved to you over and over again that they're not trying to win games. They're just trying to sell tickets. They're trying to keep their head. They're looking at their bottom line and saying, did we make money this year? Just think about this for a second. Y'all hear me out. Think about this. If an owner has 8 home games a year and he sell out just for tickets, that's in the upper millions of dollars, right? For just 8 home games, right? And that's not counting concessions, that's not counting jersey sales, that's not counting any other thing that they make money on. That's in the upper millions. I mean, just think about a football player. Just think about an owner has the money to bring 52 to 54 players on his team. Now, all of them get paid different money, but some of those players are making millions, and that owner is still striving. They're still making money. Why? They make money because of the ticket sales. They make money for the fans out there who go by the foam fingers, who go by all these different things, and that just keeps them making money. They just keep making money, but they're not trying to win. They're not trying to win a game. If they sell out every single year and they losing, the owner is winning big time. Like, he is not giving the fans anything to cheer for, but he's still selling out games. You have to be smarter than that as fans. As fans, we have to be smarter than that to understand the game just a little bit better. And I'm going to be honest with you, fans have gotten a lot smarter. Fans have gotten a lot smarter with knowing what a front office job is. Like, a front office job, and you're right, CJ, profit-driven teams. I mean, and a lot of people are saying Jerry Jones, but it's more than Jerry Jones. The Cleveland Browns owner is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Just think about it for a second. Even though I thought it was all wrong, Shadur Sanders is drafted in the 5th round. He brings attention to the Cleveland Browns. And if he plays, people are going to come see. Some people are going to come see him that hopefully he's successful, and some people are going to come see him to fail. But either way, they're coming to see him, and that sells out. Don't you even think for 1 second that they drafted Shadur Sanders because they needed it. They drafted Shadur Sanders, to me personally, from the way they use him, as a publicity stunt, because they knew it would bring attention. Now, some people say that's great business. And you're looking at it from other words, it's just great bread. It's just great business. It brings fans to the stands. But that's not what winning football is about. Now, some teams, They want to win. They want to freaking win. So what they do is you see them, they maneuver and they build their team. They got their star quarterback. They got their offensive line. They keep getting better. They keep adding pieces. They keep winning games, and they make money by winning games. But you got to understand something. There's 14 teams that make the playoffs every single year. Don't you notice that it's normally the same 14 teams? I mean, this year was a little different, but for the most part, it was the same 14 teams. We kind of got shocked this year. We seen some different teams step up and make the playoffs, and some teams that usually make the playoffs didn't make the playoffs. We saw that. But I mean, how many times do you see that? It was an anomaly. How many times do you see that? You don't see that very often. Normally, it's the same teams every single year that make the playoffs. We can kind of just sit back right now and just say, this team is going, this team is going, this team. Because we know. We know who's going to be in the playoffs. That should tell you something. Don't that tell you? If I got the same thing you have, I have the draft, I have free agency, I have all these different things, but yet the same teams are always in the playoffs. We can literally sit back and say, week one, this team is going, this team is going, this team is going, this team is going. We already know. We are shocked when the team that we pick don't go. We shocked. Oh my God, Jacksonville made the playoffs. Chicago made the playoffs. Now that's different. That's different because we're not used to seeing that. So if you have playoff teams and we know who they are, how in the world can you justify that your team, if your team is not one of those teams, how can you justify that owner or that general manager is trying to win games? I don't understand why we're that foolish. I don't understand why our fan bases are that foolish. The Raiders haven't tried to win a freaking season for years. But every year, the Raider fans are faithful. Damn it, we're going to that game. We're going to cheer on our Raiders. And they're not giving you a viable product. Now that Tom Brady's involved, the Raiders are trying to build a viable product. But it had to take something like that to get them to start trying to build. They got Kafka, they got Brady over there. Those guys are going to start building a team now. So let's take Arizona. When is the last time the Arizona Cardinals made the playoffs? What is it, 10 years? 15 years? And every year, we know Arizona is not going. We don't even count them. We don't even talk about Arizona. Why should we? What have they gave us to talk about? I'm a football person, so I'll watch, find out that they got some people over there like McBride, and they got some players over there that kind of stick out. But eventually, what those players are going to be is great trade pieces or great free agents. They're not going to finish their career in Arizona. They're not. Larry Fitzgerald was an anomaly. I'm just telling y'all right now, most of these players that are on these bad teams, look at Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed been in the league for 3 years. He ain't going to finish his career in New Orleans. And just think about it for a second. Just think about it for a second. Yeah, y'all can sit there and name all the free agents. That's what they are. They are just a free agent heaven. They get great players over there, and they're going to end up somewhere else. That is not a team that's trying to win football games. The New York Jets. Now, I'm until now, the New York Jets was one of those teams. And they just proved it last year when they got rid of 2 of their best. They traded 2 of their best. They was over there 3-4 years, and they just went on about their business. These people are not trying to win. But every year, their fan bases are going to get on social media and just cheer them on, talk shit about them, this, and that. And it's funny, and it's embarrassing at the same time. I mean, like, if you really, really think about it, it's about 8 teams that are consistent. but it's 14 teams that make the playoffs. You can take one or two away, give or take in the NFC, give or take in the AFC. But the truth of the matter is, it's really about 8 teams that are every year trying to win the Super Bowl. Why do you think when you see the Super Bowl, it's mostly the same teams? Now, we got blessed with something different this year. I agree. But I think that was an anomaly. I really do. But more than most part, what we seen in the last 8 years, Kansas City and San Francisco, Kansas City and San Francisco, Kansas City and Philadelphia, Kansas City and Philadelphia. Almost, you could just go down the line, and it was the same teams. People would all, I'm sick and tired of Kansas City. I'm sick and tired. I understand why. They keep freaking winning. And you got people in the NFC, well, you know what? We got to do something about these 49ers. Well, Philadelphia, we got to do something about these Eagles. But I mean, really, Tampa Bay stepped off in there once. We ain't seen them since. And really, what do we think? We can pretty much look at the divisions right now and say, this person is going to win a division. This person is going to win a division. We got shocked last year. We actually thought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was gonna lose the division. They ended up winning the game that they were supposed to win, but they still lost the division, and Carolina stepped in there. That's an anomaly. That doesn't happen very often. We can say these teams are going to get better, tougher. This is going to be a tougher division this year. This is going to be a tougher division. We can say that, but you got to understand, it's 32 teams in the NFL. 32 teams, but all of them are not trying to win the Super Bowl. I mean, like it's just changing back and forth, but we already know the cream rises to the top. Every single year, we know. So when you're looking at your front office, you got to think about that. What is my front office doing to move this team toward winning a Super Bowl? You do not cheer for people. You do not cheer for teams because they win a regular season game. Like, I've seen people arguing about that. Oh, we bust y'all ass during the regular season. What difference does it make? You didn't win the Super Bowl. It doesn't make you that much better. Nobody gives a damn other than you because you didn't win a Super Bowl. The conversations are the same. Like, what are you expecting your team to do every single year? First, get the little trophy. That's the division. That's the little trophy. Then the second one is the middle one. That's the conference. Let's get that conference. Let's win that conference. Then it's the big one, the big Lombardi. If your teams are not focused on those three things, you have a bad front office and you're not trying to win freaking football games. It's that simple. How many times have y'all seen yourself teams literally start losing and just say, you know what, keep losing. We get the first round draft pick. Think about that. And I heard people say this many, many times. Oh, well, a player should be grateful for whatever team draft him. Fuck that. You think about it. If you go to an organization that is not trying to win freaking football games, I'll give y'all a perfect example of this. Dexter Lawrence just won a Super Bowl. How long was Dexter Lawrence with the Dallas Cowboys? 8, 9 years, maybe, give or take a little. And he just won a Super Bowl. And he literally said when he left Dallas, they don't want to win a Super Bowl. He said this. He said it right in front of you. They don't want to win a Super Bowl. So every year we go into social media. Boy, and we pumping our team up. We this, we that, we this, we that. My quarterback, my running back, this. And I'm looking at like saying to myself, your front office is jacked. What makes you think you're finna win a Super Bowl? What makes you think you're finna win a division when your front office is jacked? I mean jacked. Some front offices are just jacked. You're gonna see, y'all don't see what I'm talking about. The Tennessee Titans are gonna be a good team next year because their front office has changed and became better. Because believe me, when they got the kid over there from Kansas City to be their general manager, this guy's gonna go over there and he's gonna change some things, just like Ryan Poles did when he went to Chicago. He's gonna change some things because when you come from a winning culture, you know how to win. I mean, you're like, look, we're gonna win some games. I need some people in here around me that want to win games. Like, you give me anybody. Why do y'all think that coaches and GMs and assistant GMs get plucked from teams that win? Because they want you to come over there and change their culture. Those are the owners who want to win. I want to win, so I'm going to go hire the people who I believe can help me win football games. So every year we see a new team jump up there. That's an organization that's trying to change. Now, can they stay consistent? Can they win it before their window close? Because some GMs want to win, but they don't really know how to get past the hump. Buffalo would be a perfect example of that. Baltimore would be a perfect example of that. They want to win, but they don't know how to get over that hump. And sometimes you can say, okay, let's fire the head coach. That's what the fan bases say. The fan bases say, let's just fire the coach. Fire him. When the coach is begging for freaking talent, I'm gonna look, give me talent for me to coach. Give me talent. Give me some players, and I'll go win one from you. Tim said I'm sick of bringing guys in and teaching them that then losing them to another organization, right? and that's crazy, but Tim's right. I mean, like it's some of you guys. I wanted my show to be special when I started the show. I want to talk about stuff that nobody else wasn't talking about. And I'm just telling y'all right now, you should be looking right now at your front office. What moves are they making? Who are they hiring? Did they come from a winning culture? Or were they just like, I'll give you an example. The Cleveland Browns fired Kevin Stefanski. They should have been fired Kevin Stefanski. He goes to Atlanta. The Atlanta Falcons owner, who's, by the way, is a good owner, but he's not patient. He's not patient enough. You're expecting lightning bolts. And it's not going to happen. You know, don't get me wrong. Atlanta Falcons have some good players over there. But even if the Atlanta Falcons won the division, they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're nowhere near ready for that. I mean, they're not ready for that. I mean, like, you want an instant gratification. It's instant. It took the 49ers 10 years to build that dynasty. It took the Chiefs almost 10 years to build their dynasty. When the Eagles, when they started winning, it took them almost 6 years to build that. It takes time to build something special. Some of these teams and some of these front offices really should just start from scratch. Like, they should just go in and just wipe out all their free agents. Not because they're bad, because they've been part of a culture that's losing. Just wipe them all out and just start from scratch. Bring in new, energetic players. Make them leaders. Teach them. Coach them up. But that's people who want to win, though. They look, and fan bases, they don't give a shit. All they're going to scream about is winning games. Well, you didn't beat this team, so you suck. Our quarterback threw 5 interceptions. He suck. Like, ain't never, ever picked up a damn football in your life, or let alone get behind a center and call signals and read defenses, but he suck. This coach suck. All he wants to do is run the ball, not understanding that, hey, I'll run the ball simply because we can't really pass protect that good. And the GM won't get me no damn lineman in here so I can actually protect. Fire the coach. Fire the goddamn coach. Did y'all not see any given Sunday? Did y'all not see the argument between the general manager and the coach? Hey, don't get mad at me. You didn't get the offensive lineman I told you to get to protect that damn quarterback. I don't have an offensive line, so all I can really do is run the ball. And I know you get tired of it and we won't win because of that, but I don't have the talent The GM is not getting the talent. And nobody says anything about that part because that part is important. We just say fire the coach. True enough, some coaches deserve to be fired. Some coaches have the talent and they can't win. That's when you fire. You fire them. That's the only time you fire them. Some coaches been in places too long. Then you should mutually part ways. Some coaches are just jacked up anyway, and you should have never hired them from the damn beginning. I did, but you hire them because that's your friend from college, or your boy from college told you about, man, you should hire him. I mean, it's funny because I was listening to Eddie DeBartolo talk about that he was coerced into hiring somebody who sucked. And he was like, this guy sucked. And when everybody said, don't hire Bill Walsh, man, he ain't part of the fraternity. Fuck you, I'm hiring Bill Walsh because I want something different. I mean, so when you think about it, the Kansas City Chiefs, before Brett Veach had a GM, Jesus Christ, Carl Peterson, I think. Carl Peterson was his name. So yeah, Carl Peterson was a GM, and Carl Peterson had an ability to pick talent. But unfortunately, he would get talent that the team didn't need. He would get the talent that he wanted. Like, in other words, the best player on the board. Like, and so you've seen the Chiefs would be so lopsided for years. They would have a great defense and they would have a horrible offense. Great defense, horrible offense. And then as soon as Brett Veach took over, Brett Veach was like, no, we're going to do this equally. We're going to start getting some offense over here. We're going to start getting defense. We're going to start getting offense. We're going to do it equally. We're going to build this team correctly. Chiefs start winning. Right? It's so crazy listening to some people talk about football. When all you guys, all 40-some people that's watching this show, know I'm telling you the truth. It starts in your front office. Y'all know I'm telling you the truth. And if your front office is not doing what they're supposed to do to help you win games, you're not winning games, guys. If your front office is in disarray, your team is in disarray. If your front office is getting in front of the damn media telling you how this player suck, you already know your team is in disarray. You can try to say it's not all you want. That's in disarray. So I'm trying to get you guys to understand. This is the kind of stuff I want to talk about today. Now, I need the panel to understand when I bring you up, we're going to talk about the front offices of different teams, whatever team you guys want to talk about. We already know right now, since the season ended, what front office is getting a team more prepared to win a Super Bowl. We already know right now. Just think about this, guys. Just hear me with this and just tell me how much sense does this make. Watch this. If I say it's only 8 teams that are truly trying to win the Super Bowl, it's 14 teams that make the playoffs. So that means that 6 of those teams are just trying to make the playoffs. Because they know if I keep making the playoffs, I get more TV money, I get all these different things, right? So we know that. Right? Let's just kick the ballistics here. So that means all the rest of those teams are the teams you should be looking at. Like, you're not trying to win. You got to understand, if it's the same every single year, that means other than the 8 who want to win the Super Bowl and the 6 who want to make the playoffs, that means the rest of those guys are not trying to do a damn thing. They're trying to sell tickets. And think about the players. There's a lot of players on bad teams that want to win. They want to win. And that's why they become free agents or asked to be traded. And then the media paint them as bad guys when they know goddamn well that organization is not trying to win. Who the hell wants to spend their entire career getting paid all this money and I don't want to win? Now I get it. It may be some players out there like that. They just want to play football and get paid. But it ain't a lot of them. I mean, it ain't a lot of them. Some of them want to win. And they're dying. They're begging their organization. Let's get me a quarterback. Hey, get me this, get me that. Let's win some games. Why do you think that organizations call in star players during a contract year? And the star player is contemplating leaving. And they know that. So they say, look, I'm about to throw a lot of money your way. And I promise you, we're getting ready to win. We're gonna have a winning organization over here. We're gonna change this culture. We're gonna do this. And they make these promises, and then they go right back to be the same. So now this player has been there 8 years, 2 contracts, and they're still not winning. I'm out. But listen, the majority of my career is gone now. I'm at the tail end of my career. And all I want to do now is just win. So I'm going to somebody. So I'm here to tell y'all. And I want y'all to say, thank you, James. I want y'all to understand this. If your front office is not trying to win football games, stay your ass off of panels talking shit. Because I'm getting ready to break this down. And this panel of ours is going to break this down. Because I know you guys are just thirsty to become a part of this. But if your front office is not trying to win, is not trying to win football games, you're not winning. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck who your quarterback is. I don't care who your running back is. I don't care if you got the star receiver. He's the best. Oh, this receiver here is better than this receiver. This receiver, who gives a shit? They ain't winning. Let's rock and roll, guys. Let's rock and roll. Up enough. Let's rock and roll, guys. Let's get this thing going. What's up, Joes? What's up, Joes?
Hey, good morning.
What's up, Mr. Corey?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, guys?
Swag?
What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's happening?
What's going on? Swag over here preaching this morning. Amen.
I ain't even hear the
Amen.
intro.
Right?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear the intro. I just woke up.
Say what?
I didn't even hear the intro. I just woke up.
I just was breaking down front offices. I mean, like.
Oh yeah, there's some horrible ones.
I mean, like, if you're not, and I say this again, so you can get caught up. And L, I see you in the audience, man. I'm gonna get you up. I promise you. Just hang tight. I saw you. All you guys that are waiting to get up, I'm gonna get you up. I promise you. I'm just thank you, Almighty. I'm just sick and tired of. If y'all want to know where this conversation comes from, every single day. Mute your phone for me, Cody. Every single day. Cody, somebody got to mute for me. Is it you, Cody?
Is it?
No, it's not you. It's not you. All right. So every single day I go through social media, right? And I do it before my show and I do it right before I go to bed. And I just kind of get an idea. I just try to get an idea of what's going on social media. So I run across these things, and these people are arguing about who's the best team next year, who's going to the Super Bowl next year, who got the best coach, who this, and that, who got the best, and nobody is talking about the front office. Because without that front office, your ass is toast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, period. You A-Train, help me out, man. Help me out, bro.
No, I mean, Buffalo Bills, prime example, right? You got to lead by example. You want your front office to show strides on moving forward. I was really impressed with like my front office. They got bought by this, Mr. Walmart himself, right? They were willing to commit to Sean Payton. They were willing to commit to bringing in free agents to make a solid push into the future. You know what I mean? If you bring in a Super Bowl winning head coach, you surround yourself with, people that have done things in the league, it's gonna pan out, in my opinion. I don't think a lot of these players, like you were speaking on earlier, like a Max Crosby, I mean, who wants to go to the Jets and wait on a rebuild? Who wants to go to the Raiders? I don't think the Raiders are going to win 8 games. You know what I mean? Especially if you're in the peak prime era of your position or, of your career. do you really want to wait for a team to get better?
I know.
I agree.
I mean, go ahead. I love it, A-Train. That's 100% right. Denver did go. And I want you guys to, if it's okay for you guys to talk about your team too. That's exactly what I want you guys to focus on. Your team and what your front office is doing. And A-Train, you're right. Denver did a great thing. What they did is they came in there, they got Sean Payton. They knew that this is going to take a little time to move all this Russell Wilson and all this bull crap out of the way. Let's do this, and that. Let's move all this shit out of the way. I mean, now, okay, now we got solid, and they got solid quick. Like literally, they got in that draft. They went to work. I mean, and before you know it, goddamn Denver Broncos was in the playoffs.
Is that Mr. White?
Yeah. So y'all see what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean by a front office who wants to win. That's a perfect example. Denver is a great example. Jones, tell me something.
Oh, I mean, most of the people up here know I love my front office. We overcame some crazy shit. So I'm happy, that
Tell me who the front office is, though. Some of them don't know.
Oh, my bad. I'm a Texans fan. So, at first the owner was what was the dad's name? I know the McNairs own our franchise. And at first it was the dad. Then we got the dad up out of there. And now the son, Cal McNair, is pretty much running things. And he's so much better. He hired D'Amico and Nick Caserio. And, they pretty much turned our franchise around in like 2 years. So
you know what, Jones? I'm gonna tell you something. The one thing that expedites change is embarrassment. So what I mean by that is you guys came to Kansas City, you had a horrible head coach, and was up 24-0 in Kansas City, came back and beat you.
Yeah.
And when that happened, the Houston Texans, I believe the Houston Texans front office said enough is enough. This was embarrassing. Mm-hmm. This was embarrassing. And you know what? We're gonna make some damn changes. And they did. I mean, and since they have made those changes, and they brought in CJ Stroud, they brought in Nico, they started building that defense. Because that's where it starts at, really. It starts with building the defense. And now they're in the playoffs. I think y'all been in the playoffs in the last 3 years.
Yep, ever since we got CJ, that's all he knows.
I mean, so they're on the right path. They got to go a little bit further now, and they know that. I don't have to tell them that. They know they want to go a little bit further, but they have done a good job so far to get you guys to where y'all at. You're a hell of a right. That front office did a great job, Joe.
The only
Mr.
thing.
Corey,
go ahead.
Oh
no, just real quick. The only thing I had to add was that as much as I would love to give them credit and say that they made all those changes on their own, the collapse was just kind of forced, just because the collapse was kind of forced just because Bill O'Brien and D-Hop didn't get along. And, after that, what you said, like the big comeback collapse, D-Hop got traded for some peanuts. And then Deshaun Watson forced a trade, which forced us into a collapse. But it all ended up working out for the better.
Right, and that's what a front office has to do. It's just like a parent. For those of y'all who are parents, sometimes the parents gotta just pull up their bootstraps and say, "Okay, this is on me. I gotta make the change. Yep. I gotta make some things." We can point at excuses, this, and that. But honestly, you want to look how good of a parent you are. Look at the child. Mm-hmm. Look at the child. I mean, y'all think I'm making it difficult. It's not. And in football, it's the same thing. If you want to see how the football see they're bad, look at the front office. Look right at them because it's the quarterback. No, look straight at the front office because the front office is the one who brought the quarterback in. I mean, so that's so easy, so simple. Mr. Corey, tell me about Miami, man. What are they doing over there?
We just don't have it, man. When you talk about good front office, you need 4 things. You can't just have 2 of the 4. You've got to have a good owner, a good GM, a coach, and some luck. And you can't just have 2 of those things, man, because, like, for instance, you were talking about the Bills. They went to 4 Super Bowls in a row. They lose Jim Kelly and the coach, Marv Levy, goes, and then you have to deal with all the years of J.P. Losman, E.J. Manuel, Rob Johnson. They were terrible.
Don't diss Tyrod Taylor.
And then they, they turn it around. They get a better coach. They get McDermott in there. The GM comes. They get some better players, and now they're back in the playoffs every year. The 49ers were trash for a while in the Elvis Gerback and Jim Druckenmillers. And, so there's always a period where they're not doing so well. You got to have all four of those things, or at least the three. Luck is kind of iffy, but you need the GM, the coach, and the owner to work well together, or you got no shot. You got no shot if they don't work well together. And you can't just – the only thing worse than, like, not having someone, like, good players on your team is paying too much money to the wrong players. So you got to keep the right guys. So that's the GM's thing, man. You can't be doing what we're doing and paying Tua a bunch of money and he's garbage. You got to be paying the money to the right people. Yeah.
Now, Mr. Corey, I'm going to share something with you. Miami reminds me of this. I'm going to be honest with you. This is what Miami reminds me of. So you guys go into the draft and you have all the great players, or all the players that you feel like is going to be great in the NFL, right? This is what I think Miami did. I think Miami says this is the best player in this draft right now, and we're going to draft that player. And in other words, even though, like, for instance, I knew the year that Tua had a good year, the Tua best year with Miami, right? I said, not because of his ability, not because of his talent, none of that stuff. I said because of his concussions.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if I was the GM for Miami, I would literally be saying, who's the best quarterback coming out of the draft that I can get next year? I mean, like, but that's just the way I think.
Like, for instance, this year they're going to be looking to upgrade the offensive line and the secondary. So say they want to pick someone. We got the 11th pick. If we want to pick someone in the secondary with our first pick at the 11th pick, if 2 or 3 corners and a safety go before it gets to 11, they'll totally abandon their plan and pick some other position when they know damn well the thing that they need the most. I mean, because do we want the 4th best guy? Well, yeah, you do if that's what you're trying to do. That's what they'll do. They'll totally abandon their plans and just go, well, this guy's the best player at this, so we'll do that. Mm-hmm. Just like you said, it's not going to work.
It's not going to work that way. You got to say, what do I need? What do I need? I mean, like, okay, so if I'm coming to you next, Callie, hold on just a second. And if you say, like Mr. Corey, you say, what do I need, right? Okay, so I'm not gonna continue on with Tua. They've already agreed that, hey, we're gonna maybe move on from Tua. Okay, so if you're moving on from Tua, you just set your team, you just set your organization back 5 years because you could have took care of it in the first time before when you drafted Tua. So you're saying that now Tua is a mistake, which I believe that in a sense he is, but not necessarily. It's not all his fault either. So, but because let's be honest, you got those concussions because of freaking you ain't nobody to block for you. I mean, so if that's the case, I'm looking at right now. I bet not miss, because if I just drafted a quarterback in the last year's draft, am I going to go in this year and say, is that my quarterback, or am I going to look for another quarterback? Now, in other words, it's like a car spinning its wheel in some mud.
And there's no team out there that should change a rookie's contract without the deal being over, man. Let them play that whole damn contract, picked up the 5th-year option, give them 5 years, make sure they're the guy for your team.
Yep.
And then go ahead and change that contract and give them an extension.
And Mr. Corey, the only way you can actually do that is to get somebody to fucking protect it. I mean, it's that simple. That's the only way you can find out.
You can't have a rookie come in and have 2 good years, then give him a huge contract, man. Let him play that shit out. Make sure he's the guy for your team. He's not going anywhere. He's under contract.
They had Laramie Tunsil, who was good for Tua, but the Dolphins front office, being the Dolphins front office, decided, well, we really don't want to pay this offensive lineman that main job is protecting our first-round quarterback that we have all this money invested to. And we want to pay Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle a ton of money so Tua can just sit back there and throw the ball 90 yards. So we're going to let him walk and go to Houston and have a few good years. And we're not going to pay him. And that obviously comes back to bite. Obviously, you have the 2 concussions in the Houston game where Tua looked like his brain was absolutely scrambled on the field.
Yeah, he was. He was just toe up from the floor. I'm telling you.
I still think we should have just kept Tannehill. So whatever.
Hold on.
But Mister, like, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go get your point.
No, like, cause I know Mister, he talking like, I like to say, cause we both Dolphin fans. Hopefully the new general manager that we got, since he was like, I believe he was like a scouter, like a player scouting and things like that with Green Bay in the past. Hopefully with this new regime, with the GM along with our new coach, probably they could put something together to where we can make some. And just pray we make some better decisions, bro. You know what I mean? Because
I love that.
That's all I can think.
Station break, guys. Station break for a second before I go to Cali Dreams. Talk about the 49ers. But the station break. Next week, guys, starting Monday morning, we're going to be producing and we're going to start coming to you guys more like a podcast. So I don't want you guys to get freaked out because and we're gonna incorporate a special panel. Now that special panel is going to change from time to time. We're going to bring in different people. And so I'm just letting you know that there's going to be some changes. So I know you guys are used to this and I don't want you guys to get freaked out next Monday when you come on the show and it looks totally different. But that's what I was doing yesterday with JB and stuff like that. So I'm getting you guys ready. Namu Podcast is going to be producing it. Everybody that's a part of the special panel, I'm gonna send you a message and let you know that you're a part of it. That will change every week. So guys, what I'm saying is all you guys that ain't in the audience that is trying to come on the panel, don't get frustrated if I don't bring you on the panel that day, because you might get a text message the next day saying you on the special panel. You all of you guys play up a special part in my heart as far as when it comes to football, because you have contributed to this show. You know what you're talking about. That's why I invite you up. But y'all haven't noticed, I don't invite everybody up on my panel because everybody don't know what the hell they're talking about. So it is what it is. That's neither here or there. I'm just letting you guys know. Next Monday, we start a new type of show. The Swag Show is going to another level. I'm just letting you guys know. Station break over. Callie, tell me about the 49ers front office.
Well, first of all, Mister, you ain't have to bring up Jim Drunkenmiller. You ain't have to bring him up. You ain't have to bring him up, sir.
Blaine Gabbert.
That was a touchy subject for you.
Giovanni Carmazzi was the worst one to me. That's just me. But I'm gonna say this way because we talked about this before. You got to have that GM and that coach that are locking step, and the owner has to be in that too. The problem that we had in the very beginning, and I love our GM. I love John Lynch, and he's a first-time GM. He's never been a GM, but he know how to win. So when we hired him, I was kind of like thrown off a little bit, like
real quick,
of all
Cody,
people.
Cody, take over for a second.
But with him, I was like, okay, we got the right coach, we got the right GM, they're locking step. Another thing is for the teams that have owners that be really vocal and stuff, you got to have an owner that know how to shut the hell up and sit down and let people work the way they need to work.
I agree.
So to me, I love our head coach and our GM. You have to have those things because you got to have people that are competent in not only football, but understand winning. Yeah, John Lynch, he's a first-time GM, but he knows how to win. He's won a Super Bowl. He's like easily one of the best safeties ever. Mm-hmm. So, he knows how to win. And then you got Kyle, whose dad know how to win. He's familiar with winning. He's won Super Bowls. He's even went as a coordinator. I'm talking about his dad, not Kyle. But
yeah.
I love what my Niners are doing. I hate that Niner fans sit here and be like, well, fire them dudes. You ain't gonna find two better dudes. It's hard to find that. Super hard.
Yeah.
So
I really
I love it though. I love our GM and our head coach. I think it took a couple years. Don't get it twisted. Like it took a minute, but once we got it, we got it. And then on top of that, like them dudes, the thing I love about them two dudes is they think outside the box. Like who the hell would have thought to go get Jimmy Garoppolo? You know what I'm saying? Like who would have thought to go get Jimmy Garoppolo? Nobody.
Garoppolo's a tough
Nobody.
one. I would actually say when you think of who the hell thought it, I would have went with Purdy on that one, Callie.
Yeah.
Purdy
I
did
mean,
have
that too,
flashes at
that too.
Iowa State.
I mean, they
but
just got
drafting-
lucky there, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like
we
I
got
said, yeah,
lucky
luck
with Purdy,
definitely
but
plays a part of that. But
Garoppolo,
Garoppolo had a decent amount of hype around him, and the only reason it was because he was behind Brady. That was it.
I just want to point out to Callie real quick that Jim Druckenmiller was fire on the Memphis Maniacs in the XFL.
Let me tell you,
No.
I want to share
To the guy in the comment, real quick, Swag. To the guy in the comment, yes, that man has won 3 Super Bowls. But dude, do you understand that Buffalo went to 4 straight Super Bowls, dog? And lost all 4. You know what I'm saying? So that happens.
First of all, Serge, I'll just tell you like this here. It's hard as hell just to even make it.
Make it. Thank you.
So I'm gonna share this with y'all. I want to touch on something that y'all said. And the reason I'm going to touch on it because I don't believe it was luck. I don't believe Brock Purdy was luck.
Really?
I'm gonna tell y'all why I say that.
Okay.
It's not Kyle Shanahan's fault that all these other people passed on Purdy. There's a shitload of them passed on Purdy, right? And you sitting in your draft room, you can draft anybody you want, but you draft Purdy.
I believe there were like 7 quarterbacks ahead of him. So that was Pickett, Willis, Matt Corral.
Hold on, stop. Go back. Pickett. Kenny Pickett.
Pickett's the only. Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna say this. I will say this. I do not think we would think of Brock Purdy as he is today if he ended up in Pittsburgh. I just think that the 49ers, and I'm not using this to knock Purdy. I just think that the 49ers are a better fit for him in terms of system wise.
Because Kyle has a system in place to, you know what I'm saying? Like to, you know, like even Sam Darnold just won a freaking Super Bowl, but he always compliments the 49ers as the team that taught him how to quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
You have Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was after Pickett, Willis, Corral, Levis.
Levis.
Levis. There's like a few more that I'm missing.
Do you see what I'm saying? Y'all starting to get an idea of what I'm talking about. All these other players that he's naming failed. They failed. I mean, so why did he choose Brock Purdy out of all those other? You can say they were gone. You can say no. Kyle Shanahan. It sort of that part kind of reminded me of what Bill Walsh and why he picked Joe Montana. He picked Joe Montana because of his feet work. It's something Shanahan seen that this kid was good at that attracted him to saying, I want him.
But not only that, Swag, Bill Walsh also seen Steve Young. Nobody was looking at Steve Young when he was on Tampa Bay. Nobody was looking at that man. You know what I'm saying? Bill saw something. He was like, I want that dude. He gonna be the bridge quarterback.
I mean,
I lied. Will Levis wasn't in that draft. I believe he was the year after. I was thinking of somebody else.
This helps the Trey Lance debacle, right?
It was
when you nail a draft pick like that.
Yes.
Hold on.
I was just about to get there. I was just about to go there.
Because I mean, once they gave up all that draft capital to move up to get Trey Lance, everyone was like, "Damn, is ownership okay? Like, who made the call to trade up to get Trey Lance?" And then when you nail on the draft and you get Brock Purdy, no one really talks about that anymore, right? You kind of forgot about that, right?
Hey, Trey, I thought they were sniffing booger sugar when they did that with Trey Lance. That was
probably
crazy.
were back there at the substation.
The funny part is they still ended up with the quarterback, their backup this year. What was his name?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones
was the quarterback that we're talking about getting. Remember before Trey Lance, and
we ended up getting Trey and not Mac.
Yeah, I'm getting Mac Jones later on though. That's crazy.
Well, what I'm trying to tell y'all is, I'm gonna agree to disagree that was luck. I am. I'm just saying that I think Shanahan did his thing on that. I think he picked the right guy, and that's what I say when I'm talking about our front office And like A-Train brought up, they made a major mistake, and they redeemed themselves with Brock Purdy.
The other quarterbacks there, Swag, it wasn't Will Levis. I was wrong. It was Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, and I believe it was Chris Oludokun, who was actually drafted by the Steelers.
Who?
And the guy that started for the Chiefs this year when Mahomes went down and Gardner went down, Chris Oludokun. And then the other one is also Skylar Thompson was in this draft as well. Mr. Corey's favorite player.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell all you guys what happens with us is we get so caught up in what's going on the field, we forget about who drafted who and when they drafted them and why they drafted them. We forget about all that stuff. I mean, so great job on the 49ers and I gotta give the 49ers props for one more thing. Y'all remember just 2 years ago, the 49ers won 6 games.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I mean, like, so the 49ers went back, moved. I mean, literally just had a fire sale. Like, I want to get rid of this person.
Come get him.
It's just what I said when I said some people should just come in and just clean house. Like, let's just start all over again and see what we can do. And the 49ers had the balls to do that. And where were they at? In the playoffs, won a playoff game in the divisional. That's a team, that's a franchise that actually wants to win. So, Eli, what's going on? Eli.
It's Robert.
Oh, it's Robert. He lost a wager on TikTok.
Yeah, he lost a wager on TikTok.
I'm done.
I just lost a wager, so I had to.
Yeah, he's part of the podcast. He's been on your show last week.
Okay, I was just making sure that you understand we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're talking about the Trey Lance trade, right?
No. We're talking about front offices. The front office. Because without a front office, your team sucks. It's simple as that.
That's bad.
So hang tight. I'm gonna get back to you when I go through everybody. All right. But if you want to comment on what those guys say, you're welcome to do that.
Hey, Swag, one more thing before you go to Mr. KC. One more thing. Again, for those folks that don't have a good team and stuff like that, like the Raiders, all these other different teams, understand that the owner has to walk lockstep with the coach and the GM. If you don't have those 3 phases, your team is never going to win anything. You got to have those 3 phases.
And I'm going to add to that, if they don't like each other.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Right.
That's a huge one.
Let me explain something to you. I don't know how many of you guys have a job or have your own business or whatever it may be. I'm talking about people who are always around people. And those people that are around you contribute to your success or your failure, regardless if you have control over it or not. If you have control over it, you can do something about it. But in most cases, we in America don't have control. We work for somebody else or we work for ourselves, and it just is what it is. But I'm going to say this. If you're ever in a situation like that and y'all don't get along, you're not going to have success, at least not long-term success. Now, I know a few exceptions. Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka, that was an exception. But for the most part, that don't happen. You're not going to have success, so they got to like each other too. Mr. KC, tell me about my boys. Tell me about my front office.
Man, we got all day. Jeez. But right now, I'm piggybacking on what they were saying, like Corey and everybody else. You do need the owner, the coach, and the GM. They need to have the triangle offense. They all need to be in sync with each other. And they might not like each other, but they got to respect each other. You got to know, hey, this is your strength. You go with it and trust each other. Hey, you that's what you good at. You good at coaching and developing. Go ahead. I ain't gonna touch it. You can't. So the Chiefs, man. So we probably got that right now. Go ahead.
No, I want to say this to you, and I want JB can answer this too, because we all Chiefs fans here, right?
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like about last year is Lamar Hunt.
Clark Hunt or Lamar?
Lamar, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. He started to put his nose out there in places that he shouldn't be.
Clark?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
like I saw it. I mean, I saw some of the press conferences that he had. But what I guess what I'm saying is, I need him to get back where he belongs. I need them to let Brett Beach do his job, and Andy Reid and Brett Beach do their thing because they always been able. Hunt is gonna go get. He's gonna pay for the money that he needs to get to what he needs to get. But they didn't seem to be on the same page last year, and it showed on the field. But I mean,
I don't think it was more Hunt. I think it was more Andy and Beach, you know. So I think it's more. I think really the problem was Andy versus Beach, you know, because Beach he is a GM. Hey, Andy, what you need? All right, I need this type of player. He went out, he got and get him. He went out like free agents last year. They got Fulton, then they got the 2 running backs and stuff like that. None of them saw the field. Like you ask for them guys and he's not playing them. So I mean, I don't know.
You know what? I think it was a combination of things too, and I think the coaches around him, right? I think I know this for a fact. Andy is gonna let those coaches be who they are.
But also Andy. Go ahead. Now I'll let you finish.
You go ahead.
But also with coaching, I agree with you trying to say, yeah, he does that. But Andy's also his downfall is nepotism. You know, loyalty. That's his downfall. Man, he's loyal to his guys and he won't get rid of them. And you know, he go to war with them, you know, and that's fine. You need that, you need to have loyalty, but at some point, because he hired like Pinkston, a former receiver, as a running back coach. And we had Kafka, who never played football in his life, as your running back coach, you know what I'm saying, for the last couple of years. And that's why those positions were struggling. And then he finally let them go. But I'm like, so I think we're going to do better, you know. And then
Kafka was
like,
in New York.
Yeah, Kafka.
Not Kafka. No, it's the run. I can't think. His name's similar to Kafka. I can't think his name.
My bad.
Yeah, we had a running back coach as a wide receiver coach
not Kafka.
and a wide receiver.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, as opposite. And it's like,
I can't think of his name.
dude,
but
what
yeah.
the hell? Yeah, Todd Pinkston was the running back coach, and then we had
I can't think of his name right now, but it doesn't even matter. He's not
Right.
important. He never played. So
Right.
you know,
I just noticed at the end of the year they fired him off.
yeah, and that's what I'm like, and he should have fired him a year ago, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Or at least had time piecing and playing coaching receivers. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, you look at what
know,
we do. We as on these panels and as people, we give like a 3-year rule, right? Precedence on players as before we grade them. I mean, what do we just go through? We went through 3 years of those guys. Yeah. They do the same thing. The league does the same thing. That just proves right there the coaches are doing the same. You know, it went. Not all. Don't take me out of context. Not all, because I mean, we see some that are gone half the year. You know, a couple games into the year, they're gone. New change of regime. But yeah, I mean, we seen it right there. I mean, they gave them their time. You know, hey, get the system down, get it going, work it through. Didn't work, didn't pan out. Year 3, gone. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, and so I mean, I don't know, but it's.
Andy Reid stuck with Sutton so long,
yeah,
to the point of where it made me sick. Like I mean, like Sutton was probably one of the worst defensive coordinators that I had ever seen. I mean, this guy.
Oh, exactly.
I mean, this guy.
I think it's what held us back. I think it held us back.
Right. I mean,
I think we could have been a lot further, longer. You'd be talking about. Oh man.
I mean, it was so bad to the point where when the Chiefs defense got on the field, I just literally left the room. I mean, that's how bad it was. I mean,
yeah, you might as well put the punt team on there.
I mean, it was just so bad. But and finally, after the debacle in New England, when New England beat us in the AFC Championship, and I said to myself, Andy Reid, you gotta let Sutton go. You gotta let him go. I mean, now you have an offense that can score on anybody. And if you had just a half a defense, you can win a Super Bowl. Because y'all do know, we can talk about the passer, the roughing the passer, and all the bad calls in the game, all we want. That defense couldn't stop nobody. I mean,
and so horrible.
I mean,
He had that bend, but don't break, and it was bending and breaking.
and
Yeah,
right? I mean, like, when I can't tell you how much heartache I felt when sitting there watching that. So,
Oh yeah,
then you bring in
they had the player. They had the players.
I didn't have gray hair until Bob Sutton.
Right. I mean, so I just want y'all to know. See, it just goes to show you the front office. If you make that right, you just make that right tweak. Sometimes it's just one person, and you just gotta make that decision.
But you also gotta the ego got to go into it too, though, man. You can't have a GM who's like, this is my way. I know I do everything, and I'm gonna pick all the players. I'm gonna do all this. You know that you gotta have a balance. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have respect. You gotta hire somebody. Same thing with the owners. The owner can't control everything. You're an owner. Make the money and let the GM hire and drive and whatever. And the coach, let the coach coach. So everybody got to have their part in their role. You got to know your role. You can't just try to take over and micromanage. That's another thing.
That's one thing that we had. I said the Chiefs for the longest time, man, with Carl Peterson. Like if we go back to like front office and talking about ownership and them, Carl Peterson
was exactly.
He was horrible. But I'm gonna tell you what, he changed and saved Kansas City and the Chiefs and football all as one. Because dude, there was times, bro, we went through seasons in Kansas City. Your games were getting blacked out in your own hometown. You can't even watch your local team play.
That's the same thing that happened in Tampa.
Yeah,
they brought in him, and he sold out seats immediately. That's why offenses sell tickets, defenses win championships. He never put the two together.
I mean, Carl Peterson probably.
I really wish a Cowboys fan was in here today.
He was more of a.
What's going on? Hey, y'all sound like y'all had the same type of issues we had, and we kept telling people we knew our Bucks team and the trajectory.
You hang tight. This is what the show is about. We're talking about the front office, and your front office is not doing what they supposed to do. Your ass is not going nowhere. I don't care what nobody say. It's not happening.
Yeah, not necessarily.
And that's why I feel good, Swag. That's why I feel good. My fault. Go ahead, Buck. My fault.
Not necessarily the front office too. Also, what I can see what the Bucks were doing with the GM Jason Light and the coach when BA left the when he left the offense and then left it in the hands of Todd Bowles from that Super Bowl run when they had him in. Of course, the whole trajectory of the team on both sides of the team changed. But we never seen the morale of how our defense done fell from grace this year. I said they really feel.
Bucks, that's an interesting conversation, and I'm gonna get to you in just a second. Let me finish going through here because we're gonna talk about the Buccaneers. I got some things I want to say about that as well. I don't have to go to JB. JB is a Kansas City fan. He was actually talking with Mr. KC, so I can go straight to L. Tell me about your front office, brother.
Yeah, that's why I feel a little good about our front office a little bit. At first, I was shaky about it. I'm gonna make it quick, but it's just the fact, like someone else touched on, just due to the fact that John Sullivan, used to be a scout, used to scout and everything like that. The players for the and then Jeff Hafley was the defensive coordinator. So it was like I went back and looked at the draft for the Green Bay Packers in the last like seemed like 15 years or something, bro. Other than Jordan Love, everything else has been like either that line or something on the defense. So it's like, and those are the two main things that we really need to change up. We can get rid of that contract off that contract some kind of way with Tua or do something. We're gonna build from the inside out, and that's something that I like. And both of those guys have a relationship together and see the same philosophy. So
I'm gonna hit you back in just a second. Cody, you want to check? I'm gonna hit you back because I want to talk about the Green Bay Packers. Cody, tell me about Pittsburgh, man.
I mean, it's a weird front office, right? I know a lot of Steeler fans, I don't know why, but they don't like Omar Khan. I thought the man has done nothing but a good job. That's our GM. He's really his worst contract signed. I don't even know. It might be, I guess, the Ramsey one. No, the DK contract's probably his worst contract signed. That
Hey,
probably
Cody,
be the
Cody,
sign.
Cody, hey, Cody, I'm finna
Yeah.
get off, bro. Hey, Cody, I'm finna get off because I gotta work, man. I'm gonna let y'all get somebody else. I'll listen. I'll let
Okay.
y'all boy, man. All
Yeah,
right,
for
man.
sure. Y'all have a good one, Enrico.
Sure,
But
yeah, I'm sorry to cut y'all, but I'm finna work, bro. Just let you know you get somebody else. So.
yeah, for
All
sure.
right.
Yeah. I'll let Swag know. Yeah, the Hayward and Watt contracts were bad too. But I say the DK one's probably worse. The worst one he signed. But in all seriousness, I'm gonna be honest. I thought that our front office is my stance on the front office has been kind of the same for the past few years. I do think that the current Rooney that's in power, no offense to him, will probably be best when he is when whatever circumstances happen that cause his son to take over. And I won't. You can interpret that as you will. They did make a good move this offseason by kind of, I don't want to say caving into the fans, but if you want to say that, that is kind of what they did, and walking away from Mike Tomlin. It was something that was probably a long time coming. And they went out, and I will say this, I know a lot of Steelers fans are still very split on him. McCarthy has actually put in a good coaching staff. So far, if you just look at the people who he put in and what they've done, it's actually a pretty good coaching staff. Pittsburgh has always been a good drafting team. It's just something that they do. I am optimistic about this year. Yes, the front office made some really bad moves. I think in retrospect, not getting ahead of the Le'Veon Bell situation was bad. Not getting ahead of certain situations was really bad. I don't think we're necessarily a terrible front office. We do have some big flaws. There are some players that, we've signed and trades we've made that are not necessarily great. But at the same time, what front office hasn't.
I love it. I'm just gonna.
That
I'm
was
just gonna.
covered.
I'm just gonna say this. Pittsburgh's a playoff team every single year.
Yeah.
For the most part, and I don't see that changing. So I'm pretty sure that their front office is working on trying to get them over the hump.
Yeah.
In other words, first of all, just win a damn playoff game. And when you do that, then you can move from there and say, let's get deeper. Let's get to the AFC Championship. Let's do this. But I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are horrible at all as far as their front office go. Because if they was horrible, they wouldn't even make the playoffs. And I don't honestly think that the Pittsburgh Steelers, their organization has too much of a legacy to say that they just want to win games. I mean, they just want to sell tickets. That's not their thing. They're gonna try to figure it out. I don't know if Mike McCarthy is the person, but they must have seen something that I didn't see. So, and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt.
I think they want offensive consistency, Swag. Something Pittsburgh hasn't had in a while. And if there is one thing I can say about McCarthy that is in his favor, he does bring a stable offense. Again, I've said it 1,000 times. If your long-term plan was to bring Rodgers back for another year and then develop Will Howard a little bit more, if that is somehow your long-term plan and that's what you've decided on, hiring McCarthy and bringing Rodgers back for another year is not a terrible idea. It's actually a very good idea.
What makes, in my opinion, real quick, what makes the DK contract look so bad is how good JSN was this year. I don't know if you guys give him 30 mil.
I disagree with that, A-Train. I get the point. I just think what makes I don't know any logical Steeler fan that didn't look at that contract as soon as we signed it and said, that is a massive overpay. I did. I justified it in my head by saying, I justified it in my head by saying, look, it's, yada, 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 yada. You had to lock him up long term. However, they can right the wrong a little bit this year if they get a quality receiver in the first round. I had an argument with somebody on JB show yesterday about Mekhi Lemon. Mekhi Lemon's not dropping that far. And to the people that say that, I just challenge who's ahead of him. Who ahead of us takes him. And, whether we get him or not, or we get another receiver, if they can get another receiver that can play in different spots and is not limited to the outside like DK is, I think DK's production will go up next year.
Here's my thing. And I think this is why they're saying what they're saying. I don't agree or disagree with what you're saying at all. I haven't seen him but 1 year with Pittsburgh. So all I know is he got to stop.
Take Daniel Jones money.
He got to stop. He got to stop the BS. He got to stop the BS off the field. I mean, like that's all I can.
Agreed.
So with that being said, Buck, you there, man? You sleep?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure. Hey, L. Hey, I'm sorry, L. Eli. Who's your
What's
team?
good?
I'm
It's the
just
Eagles.
listening.
It's the Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about Howard Roseman and company.
All right, so I'll say the last 6 years we've done a lot better from the Jalen Reagor days. I remember when we took Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson in the draft. That was my reaction when I saw
Forgot
that.
about J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over DK.
Yep, that's another one right there. We honestly in the last 6 years, we went from taking Devontae Smith in the draft, trading for A.J. Brown. We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I don't know why we let him go, and I say we should have kept him, but we
said
ended
that,
up letting
Swag.
him go. And on top of that, our coaching, that's another problem that we need to fix, honestly. I mean, our head coach is great, but when it comes to offensive coordinator, I don't think we need to let Nick Sirianni have a pick in our offensive coordinator. Because when he has a pick in our offensive coordinator, we end up being mediocre. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but when Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio got picked, Howie Roseman had the call on that. Howie Roseman had the final call.
No, I knew that. I knew that, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about Howard Roseman and Nick Sirianni. It had to be Howard Roseman to endorse Nick Sirianni getting a contract extension.
That's true.
He had to endorse that. Because let me tell you what Nick Sirianni is. Nick Sirianni don't rock the boat. In other words, Howard Roseman basically is running that team. So I know basically he is running that team. And Nick Sirianni don't rock the boat. Now, as far as y'all missing on some of those drafts, I get that. This is the thing that I want to see from Philadelphia this year. Can the front office take care of that aging ass offensive line that everybody thinks is still the same, that it's not? I mean, so can they do something? Because you got to find somebody that's going to actually be able to back up Lane Johnson if you're going to keep him. Because I think Lane Johnson is reaching 37 now.
Yeah, he's getting up there. He's getting on them.
Okay, Mr. Casey. So I think he's reaching 37 years old. You might want to get somebody to back him up that can truly play. The reason I say that is because he's going to get hurt again. I mean, and then you have the guard that got hurt last year.
Landon Dickerson.
And I honestly don't think that guy was healthy the entire year. I mean,
he wasn't.
Even when he was on the field as healthy, he wasn't healthy. So it's some things that you guys got to do with your offensive line. Not to mention, you just hired a new offensive coordinator who throws the ball 70% of the time.
Facts.
I mean, so unless he's coming in there to run the offense you already have, which I seriously doubt, I'm 100% sure he's coming in there to install his offense, and that offensive line will have to pass block much better than what they did last year. So it's going to be interesting to see how now I got what's up, Thunder God? I got all kind of respect, and I believe Howard Roseman can pull this shit off one way or another. So it's going to be interesting to see what you guys are doing. I'm not worried about the Philadelphia Eagles just trying to sell tickets. Philadelphia fans don't allow that shit. Like, they will literally stop coming to the game and say, fuck you. I mean, like, in other words, if you don't put a freaking product on that field that wins, they will.
It's crazy.
I mean, so
that's how it is, though. He's not lying.
And
I mean,
I
not
feel like this
lying.
Philly team. I feel like this Philly team is going to be one of the more interesting ones to watch in this offseason, right? The AJ Brown deal. You got a lot of guys you need to re-sign. I got my eyes a lot on the Eagles this offseason. What they do.
Well,
Me too,
also, Landon. Speaking of Landon Dickerson, he was talking about retiring. He's talking about retiring early because he has so much wear and tear on his body. So,
Exactly
like,
right. It's wear and tear on your body, and you know, part of that wear and tear is the tush push.
yep.
I'm telling you right now. It
Oh
is.
yeah.
I mean, so,
Oh yeah.
so when you look at this, because I'm gonna be honest with you, Eli, I'm enjoying talking to you about the Eagles. I enjoy talking to Tim about the Eagles, and I want you to just hear what I'm saying. So that means that you guys need to be right now thinking about what offensive line. Now, I know Howard Roseman. Howard Roseman understands the Philadelphia. He's been in Philadelphia now, what, 15 years? 15 years. He understands the market. He understands their fan base. He knows damn well that fan base is winning now, goddamn. And if you ain't winning, you gotta go. That's just the way they look at things right there. And they don't care how long you've been there. Your ass gotta go if you can't do the job.
Yep.
So I can see Howard Roseman attacking that offensive line and bringing in talent. I don't know if he'll do it through the draft, but I know he's gonna do it somehow, some way. I mean, so because that's gonna be the key. I know you guys got, you got to sign DC back. You got all these different things that you got to do, and a lot of people gonna be talking about Carter and this and that. But the truth, you better get something done with that offensive line, because if
I
you
totally
don't,
agree with you on that.
if you don't, it's gonna be bad. And you watch, you let the Philadelphia Eagles don't. You see, it's different now. The Philadelphia Eagles used to be, you better get me in the playoffs. But after you don't make it to the Super Bowl and you've made it twice in 3 years, when that you don't get back to the Super Bowl next year, watch see what happens. They're gonna be saying, "I want sell that ass out of here. I want I don't want Jalen Hurts." Y'all fan base was even talking about benching Jalen Hurts last year. Like so it's this fan base don't play. Yeah, they would have stopped coming to the games. I mean, so I know Howard Roseman to get that straight because he understands what kind of market he's dealing with. I have no doubt in my mind he'll get it straight. So but that's a good point. You brought some great points, man. I really appreciate that. Bucks game. Now this is a conversation that I can't wait to have. I did because
what's up, man?
This is one of the fastest debacles
it's a mirage
I've ever
going
seen.
on.
I'm not gonna say ever. It's one of the fastest debacles I've seen. So tell me about what's going on in your front office, Bucks.
Look, y'all started. It's a chain of command, and at the same time, our front office listen to their fans for one, and we really wanted Todd Bowles out of there, but as we look at it, he ain't leaving. But at the same time, we got to understand how the personnel on that coaching staff changed from year to year. And when on the other side of Todd Bowles, we had Lynn Cohen. And how Lynn Cohen came in and had the offense Super Bowl ready. And then when he left, it kind of digressed a little bit. I guess him and Baker wasn't getting on the same page or whatever, but then the defense started to fall apart. We had so many injuries during the season, and I mean key injuries. But somehow I look at this, I look at it like this. They're 6-2. We can't this year we going in there, we can't get no worse than what we did at the going down from 62. After that bye week, we can't get nowhere. We only can get better. But it starts in that front office. It started with Jason Light. We went in. We wasn't expected to get a wide receiver. We expected defense, because the wide receiver. Notice we already had drafted
McMillan.
Millen. Yeah, we drafted McMillan, but we went on and got a Buka, which I was okay. I'm okay with that, but we seen through the season. That's what we needed: defense, an edge rusher, a pass rusher, a linebacker, a corner, or a safety. We needed them key pieces. It seemed like we got to wash that whole defense away and start over. Offense, all right. It's actually ready being transition.
I want to ask you a question.
It's ready to be in transition. If Mike Evans said he's leaving, or he's retiring, or he want to go for a contender, or he want to come back, we want him back. That's another story for another day. But at the same time, we know how we feel about Mike.
I gotta ask you.
But at this,
I gotta ask you a question. Now, your general manager, like, how long have you been there? How long has your general manager been there?
And when I say Jason Light came,
what is it?
Like, what, 5 years?
5 years?
5 years? About 5? Yeah, like 5, 6 years, I think.
Was he there? Was he there when
I got Butt Nation here too? He can.
No, the reason I'm asking.
What's up?
The question is because when you see a debacle like you seen with Tampa Bay, right? When you see a debacle, you have to start thinking at that moment. Y'all were quick. I saw most of all y'all. I was on y'all panels. I was on y'all shows. I was listening to y'all. And all y'all. Todd Bowles gotta go. Todd Bowles gotta go. Todd Bowles gotta go. But I kept saying I didn't care who it was. I was like, no, Todd Bowles ain't your issue. What your issue is literally you let pretty much every one of your players that was walking free agency. You didn't want to pay any of them. Now I'm pointing to certain people, especially the secondary. I just seen one of your cornerbacks in the Super Bowl. If I'm not mistaken.
I get that, but what we looked
at. Hold on.
Yeah, you seen Carter Davis.
Right. Let me finish. So at some point, when your defense fall apart that much, if I only as a coach, I can only coach the talent that is given to me. Right? That's all I can coach. I can make some players even better. I mean, but when you start talking about Pro Bowl caliber players, letting them walk and not replacing them with the same ingredients of talent that you let go, this is how debacles happen. So I'm saying right now, before you guys were pumping up, and I'm not saying that Todd Bowles didn't have a play in this, because he did. He had a play in this. But man, you might want to be looking at your GM too, because at some point,
that's what they both connect together though. Jason Light like going through the draft.
So Jason Light,
that play calling was
goes to the draft and he gets 2 receivers. How many receivers did he get?
But remember, Swag, in the middle of the season, everybody free agency was we shopped, but we didn't get nobody. We shopped, but we didn't get nobody. That was a big issue.
No, listen to what I'm saying. You guys got an abundance of running backs, an abundance of receivers, but you have no secondary.
Well, they're gonna have one leave this year. Rashad White is a free agent this year.
Yeah, he's a free agent. Rashad White is it.
So
and there's no way he comes back.
If I'm building,
he ain't coming back. I don't want him back.
If I'm building a team, listen to what I'm saying. Your general manager, I don't know if your coach, I know this Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded coach. And I go get an abundance of receivers, and I go get an abundance of running backs. I'm not getting the key points: defensive line, offensive line, secondary, all of these things that hadn't been touched.
I get where you're going. I get where you're going with that, Swag. But I'm gonna tell you this. Remember Rich McKay?
Yeah.
Remember Rich McKay with the Bucks? And then Jason Light, he goes through the draft. Rich McKay was like a free agency guy. He'll put in them running, and then we'll go with the flow on defense. The way that happened, we got blame both of them in the play calling, but I feel the thing is the coach, like how y'all was saying about your coach for Kansas City. Some people are stubborn, and I feel like with Todd Bowles, he cannot, as a head coach, and y'all know he was with the Jets. As a head coach, he can't coach at that level.
Let me ask you a
question. He can't coach
at
that level. He as a DC, as a DC, he's good.
Let me ask you a question. Are you good with tools?
All right.
No, I'm asking. Are
What?
you good? Give me something that you're good at in your personal life. Anything. I mean,
Working? Like what? What do you mean?
So in other words, if you are you good at fixing stuff around the house, right? Are you good at stuff like that?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, so watch.
Yeah. Like,
Hold on. You ever went to fix something around the house and you can fix it, but you don't have the tools. So you gotta stop what you're doing. You gotta go get the tools. You come back.
I get what you're saying about the tools thing.
No. So what I'm saying is,
we on the same page.
The reason why Todd Bowles wasn't fired, and I knew he wasn't going to be fired, it's because it wasn't all on him. What I meant by that is, if I'm and you,
I get that.
Who's to know the general manager? If the general manager, let's say I'm going to the general manager and I'm Todd Bowles, and I say, listen, we missed last year because I really need a secondary.
Swag, I'll drop. You can bring up Bucks Nation.
Okay, I really need a secondary. Right.
I know it wasn't all on him. Can I explain? I know it wasn't all. We talked about this on our panel. We know it wasn't all on it. And me, Buck Nation, and Chandler sat up there. We diagnosed this team.
Buck Nation,
it wasn't all on him.
Queue, man. You're not in the queue. Put yourself in the queue. Go ahead.
Half of that was. I just heard somebody say it. Sometimes you can coach the team, but then they talent not up to par. You know what I'm saying? They got to execute. We get that. But at the same time, the play calling, we looked at how I looked at how 49ers, 49ers coached that team. Even though with secondary, third strings and second team, and still got to where they are. We're cool with that. This team was on expectations at the same time. So I feel like yeah, you got to have the tools, but you also have to have a coach that can put these dudes in position. They was out of position. None of them. It had a whole morale of injuries, everything. A lot of stuff was going on. And I'm not gonna put him, but him as a head coach, fully as a head coach, and being the DC at the same time, I think that's not working. I feel like that's just not gonna work.
Go ahead.
That's not gonna work.
So what you gotta add to this?
All right, and my thing here, right? I understand what you're saying about the tools and fixing things, but this ain't just started though. This been really going on the year after we won the Super Bowl. Like,
right, that's exactly.
Since you say look at the front office, then that's the case. Both done should been gone by now, because they knew holes that needed to be fixed way before now, but they decided to ignore them. At the same time, Todd Bowles is like, Carlton Davis. You're talking about Carlton Davis in Super Bowl, and they go back to Todd Bowles. Carlton Davis regressed before he left us. He went to Detroit and got back up to his standards, and now he in New England back up to his standards. That all falls on coaching. So something Todd Bowles and his staff wasn't doing, and Todd Bowles was too stubborn until now. They fired a lot of his staff.
Come on, y'all. Hold on. Time out. Hold on, Mr. Bucks. You know, we talk about football. Come on in. You said that it was coaching with Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis won a Super Bowl with you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And he stayed a couple more years out there. And then
you gotta look at the morale of play.
Swag, I'm telling you, the man would get. He just like Jamel Dean won a Super Bowl with us. The same one I told you about. Every time look around, he get beat.
No. I get that. You're right. I'm not saying. I'm just trying to get y'all to see something that y'all be missing when I'm listening to your show. Like I'm sitting up and saying, you said yourself, Bucks Nation. You said yourself. You said this should have started changing after the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl, that's when y'all hired Todd Bowles, right? That y'all had just won the Super Bowl.
No, he was already on the staff.
That's when y'all.
We hired him as the head coach.
But he was a defensive coordinator, and then he moved y'all. They moved him to head coach.
Yeah.
Right. So
Swag, that was his defense, though. Still, that was his defense.
That was his defense. Swag. That was his defense.
I get that. His defense was the reason you won the Super Bowl. Like this. So what I'm saying is now we go to once you win a Super Bowl, you know at that point to keep it going, you need who? You don't need your head coach. Who do you need? Who do you need to keep it going? Who do you need
You
to
need
keep
players.
Who?
You need the players.
GM and players.
You need GMs.
You need the
Your
players.
GM keep that going.
That's why I would.
So if your GM,
but Swag.
all I'm trying to
I
tell
just
you,
said that in the beginning. We
Right.
lost that Super.
if you fire your head coach,
Yeah, we lost that Super Bowl because we don't have.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying because we had that Super Bowl. That's not the same team. That's not the same team. But where regress said that I'm not gonna blame. He did have some problem with that, but the play calling could have been better. The play call could have been better.
And I kind of want to hit on that real quick. So you guys went from being you were middle of the pack. You were ranked 18th on offensive statistically. You were ranked 18th. The year prior, you were ranked 4th. You were top 5. You were the 4th best offense in the NFL just a year prior. I think you're underselling this Liam Cohen thing. Just my opinion. You said, yeah, we lost our
Selling what now?
The Liam Cohen.
Selling what?
Liam Cohen.
In other words,
that's a drastic drop off. When you drop off from 4 to 18, that is huge to me personally. Looking at it from an outsider looking in, I think the Liam Cohen losing your OC was fucking huge, in my opinion.
We that's what we said.
It was. I give you that. It was.
Yeah, we said that. We understand that. Gazard, that's why we got rid of Gazard. We understand that part. But on the defensive side of the game, we looking at the head coach as the DC. I just said I broke it down into like 3. I get where Swag was going because earlier he said, hold that thought. It's a chain of command because we know how the Glazers work. The Glazers work where they give you this chance, but they look at the whole morale. They like Todd Bowles, but we know how he got hired.
They love him.
We exactly know how he got hired. He got hired within the system to what we was already running. But at the same time, yeah, you do need the players. We don't lost. I can tell you, we lost Carlton Davis. We lost your dude that went to the Raiders. Got Devin. We lost him.
White.
We lost
Odell.
We lost. I mean, not Odell. Adamik Sue. We lost Jason Pierre. We lost a lot of them dudes. Them key players that was dogs. This is where they're at now.
I mean, and just as an outsider looking in, like I don't know your team like you guys do, obviously, but you guys always start hot. You guys always start hot, and then you guys shit the bed the second half of the season. This has just been this way. I don't know what it is.
That's what we trying to show you. That's what we saying.
So coaching.
It's the coaching part of the game. What the Glazers gonna do?
Watch this. Here's one thing that will solve all this for Tampa Bay fans. You ready? If you get Todd Bowles the players he needs on defense like you did, BA, and he sucked, then it's the coach. Because BA had everything he needed defensively, offensively, offensive coordinator, or defensive coordinator. He had everything that he needed, and he won a Super Bowl. And that's why I'm saying, so
we get that.
This is the part where I always say, and I'm not protecting Todd Bowles at all. I'm saying if I'm a mechanic and I don't have any tools, I'm useless. There ain't nothing I can do. And all I saw is a bunch of wide open skilled players who can ball their ass off. I seen nothing in the trenches offensively. I seen nothing in the secondary. I seen you can't even, as a Tampa Bay fan, me outside looking in, you can't even look at your team and be honest about it and say, because even Bucks Nation told me, man, we got a problem in the secondary. But when I started watching, he was 100%. He was 100%.
We do.
Right. But guess what? You also had a problem in your offense.
We do. We have that.
You couldn't get a pass rush. If you can't get a pass rush, you're going to lose games. You know, you can stop the run. You was good at that. but you couldn't get a pass.
Okay, so swag, you say that Mike, but answer this question too. Doesn't the head coach put their input in on who they want, who they like to run their scheme?
That's true.
Right.
Bucks
We was
Nation,
running a
that's so
4-3
true.
that year.
But guess what?
Had I say
Guess
so.
what? But guess what? He can say he can say no. He can say no. You got what you need.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. If y'all talking about your head coach, you might want to be talking about your general manager too.
No, we talking about the head coach. He said.
But swag. For 3 years straight, you telling me the GM been sent it the same way, and ain't want no change. That what you saying? For these last 3 years.
Right.
Okay. So hold on. We got the last year y'all had Lean Coleman. Y'all had a great offense coordinator, right? Y'all know that, right? I know y'all know that.
Right.
But where were your defense?
Right. We know that.
What was your defense right?
Like 20 something. I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. So hold on.
We were down now.
Your offense has scored some damn points, but the defense couldn't stop nobody, right? So that's 1 year. But what about the year before that? The year before that, you guys were almost pretty much, no, y'all weren't coming off a Super Bowl. The year before that, how good was your defense?
Wasn't that good, bro?
Listen, it ain't been that good.
It started, and it's just showing more than.
I'm gonna take you home with this. I'm gonna take you home if you let me. Hold on. So now this is the third year going on. Your defense is not that good, and you say this is what you say. I lost players. Whose job is to help me get this down? Whose job is to help me get this defense built? If you're gonna fire Todd Bowles, and I would have totally agree with you guys, I really would. You might want to be looking at light too. I'm just saying.
That's no problem.
Hand. That's all I'm
They
saying.
were ranked 20. They're pretty much ranked 20 in everything except for the run, stopping the run. They're actually top 5 in stopping the run.
That's it. We've always been top 5 and top 1. No matter what.
You looking at that? You looking at that like we don't see that. But what we
even our down year before Brady got there with top 5 and stopping the run.
No, I'm not looking at it. I'm looking at what I hear you guys talk about. All I hear you guys talk about is Todd Bowles, and I'm telling you, it's more than him. It's more than him.
We knew that. We not just talking about
as many times I've been on your show, tell you, I can honestly admit you right, and I talked about Jason Light.
We talked about that.
He may need to go. We talked about that.
And that's what I mean about organization understanding and say, you know what? Let's just clean house. Let's just clean house. Pick who you want. And you know what?
Listen.
You know what? This is what I thought about this, and I wanted to ask you guys this question too.
You know they're transitioning on offense, right?
Say it again now.
They're transitioning on offense. The wide receiver core, the running back core, the offensive line, they're transitioning on offense, which is fine. It's the defense done unfair. You know, we had great defenses in the past, though, right? Swag. So that's what you probably saying that, yeah, we need to clean house at. But there are key players that you want to keep, and there are key players you don't want to keep.
Oh, I'm not talking about the players.
It's just what it is.
No, I'm talking about
the Swag. I'm gonna take you further than the GM because I'm gonna give you something you don't know about this off season. We actually reached out to Jim Harbaugh, but Jim Harbaugh didn't want to come because he wanted to bring his own GM. So who that on? The owners, but they don't want to get rid of the GM. Right. I'm gonna take you farther back than GM. It's the owners.
So I'm just gonna help you Buccaneers fans out as
it's them young Glazers, the daughter and the son.
I'm gonna tell y'all what
the dad gone.
What y'all gotta do is y'all gotta get to another general manager when y'all get rid of your coach, get rid of your general manager, start over from scratch. And I think you guys will be fine because y'all are an organization that do want to win. So that's not either here or there. So let me do this, guys. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank every single soul on this show. This is one of the great shows. I talked about so many different teams. I just want to thank everybody on the show. Remember, next Monday we start off with the new Swag Show produced by Non-Move Podcast. If you guys want to continue these conversations, y'all move over to the Non-Move Podcast. Y'all go check out Bucks Nation and Mr. Bucks. Man, these guys be talking about Tampa Bay. If you want to learn about Tampa Bay, go listen to these guys. I'm just telling y'all right now, I really appreciate all you guys. This is your boy Swag. Peace. I'm out.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.